Very much. Let's bring in Republican Congressman from New York, Peter King. He's a member of the House Homeland Security Committee and House Intelligence Committee as well. Great to see you today, Congressman.
Thank you, Harris. Thank you very much.
I want to start with the reports that the meeting went well. What does that indicate to you?
It indicates that at least on the surface, Kim Jong-chol was saying that they do accept the principle of denuclearization. Listen, I have great faith in Mike Pompeo. I work with Mike on the Intelligence Committee. He was outstanding head of the CIA. He's a tough negotiator. And again, I think that we're still at the early stages of this. Even though it's been going on for a few months now, it's still at the early stages. And I think North Korea is getting the message that Donald Trump is for real, that President Trump is not just looking for an easy deal, and that there have to be real results. Now, what's going to happen as this plays out, we don't know. But I would say it's a good start today. I think Mike Pompeo is getting the message across that the U.S. is serious and that they have to, and that North Korea has to be serious about denuclearization. Now, if they follow through on that, that's a whole different story, because in some ways the only reason North Korea exists is because of its nuclear weapons. So this is going to be a tough process, but I feel very good today after the meeting. I don't think Mike Pompeo or his spokesman would have said that it went positively if it didn't.
Congressman King, what leverage does the president and thereby the United States have in negotiations?
I think we have several bits of pieces of leverage. One is that I still believe that we can use China. The fact the president reinstated the tariffs the other day on China, I think that is putting pressure on China to put pressure on North Korea. North Korea realizes that President Trump is serious and he's not going to back down on the issue of denuclearization. I think for the first time, they see that they have an adversary who is willing to follow through if he has to. I don't want to go any further than that, but I think they see a real competitor out there in President Trump, and also with China. So I would say the combination of the two, and also these sanctions, are having a real impact on North Korea. So again, there's the combination of sanctions on North Korea. I believe some pressure from China. Now, China's trying to have it both ways. But again, I think the fact the president reinstated the tariffs on China shows China that the president is onto their game.
All right, I want to read this. This is coming from Reuters. They're calling it an exclusive, talking with President Trump, saying that the president told Reuters it may take more than one meeting to seal a denuclearization deal with North Korea, says he will most likely be visited by North Korean envoy Kim Jong-chol on Friday at the White House. Your response?
Yeah, I think it most likely will take more than one meeting. I mean, one way or another, this has been going on now for 65 years, ever since the armistice in 1953. So I don't expect it to be resolved in one meeting, but I do believe that meeting can certainly set a tone to make it clear to Kim Jong-un how serious President Trump is. Now he's going to keep the pressure on, and that pressure will come through both China and also U.S. sanctions, and in fact world sanctions on North Korea. So I see this process starting, but it's important. And I just wish that more American political leaders would stand behind the president, put aside partisan politics for a while, and really show a united front against North Korea. We are standing with the president.
Do you feel that's not happening? And by the way, I have Democrat Garamendi from California on right after you, so this is an opportunity now. What do you want Democrats to do? Do you feel that that cohesion's not happening?
I don't believe it is. It seems like too quick. Like last week when it appeared that someone was being called off, they were coming in quick to criticize the president. Listen, I stood by President Obama as much as I could on foreign policy. Again, if after it's over, said and done, that's one thing. Or after a decision like the agreement with Iran was signed, that's an area where, to me, you should be voicing your opinion. But right now, and it's so sensitive with these talks coming up, let's see what happens. Let's see if the talks come about. Let's see what happens on June 12th, and then hold your fire until then. And there's enough to criticize afterwards if they want to, but let it go until between now and then, so Kim Jong-un knows that the American people and the Congress and the Senate are standing behind the president in demanding denuclearization.
Representative Pete King, I'm going to use your very words in my next interview, because that was a call out for a united front, as I understand it. Great to see you today. Thank you for being on the program.
You can tell John I said hello. He's a good guy.
I will. He can probably hear you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's bring in Democrat Congressman John Garamendi. You heard Representative King saying hello to you there. I want to tell our audience and remind them that you are a member of the House